If you sailed to Antarctica today, you would be forgiven for thinking it's not the most interesting place to see. To the naked eye, it's a vast and featureless white landscape. For a long time, even researchers assumed that the only thing underneath the ice was a rock, just a single, boring, frozen tectonic block. However, modern scientists have become fascinated with the mysterious content. As interest grows, more and more discoveries are being made about the world that is hiding below the ice, and each new discovery seems to reveal more questions than answers. Antarctica's subglacial secrets are now being compared to the mysteries of space. But what exactly have these researchers found, and what's so shocking about it? In this video, we'll go on an expedition to explore some of the newest research pouring in from fascinated scientists. Despite initial beliefs that Antarctica was nothing more than a big, boring frozen rock, new technology has allowed for some mind-blowing discoveries that literally nobody saw coming. And this research has sparked a great deal of interest from most geologists. You wouldn't expect that field to reveal particularly interesting insights, but their findings are not only fascinating, but crucial to our understanding of the entire planet. But that's not all. It gets better, so keep watching. Antarctica was not always a frozen wasteland. These days, we relate the icy contents to the poles and their position in relation to the sun. But in reality, Antarctica lay over the South Pole for almost 100 million years without any trace of ice on it. Back then, it was a diverse, warm continent covered in lush, green rainforest, which was inhabited by dinosaurs. According to scientists, it was more like New Zealand in those days, and nothing at all like the Antarctic tundra we know. It was only 34 million years ago that it started to resemble modern-day Antarctica. A dramatic shift in the climate at the time meant that warm greenhouse planet Earth suddenly became dramatically colder, and it was that created the ice houses at the poles which we know today. Since then, the ice has hidden the history of the continent, which we're only now beginning to reveal. Today, the continent is divided into three regions: East Antarctica, West Antarctica, and the Antarctic Peninsula. It's the western region that has suddenly revealed fascinating insights into the evolution of our planet, thanks to the help of a retired satellite. The Gravity Field and Steady-State Ocean Circulation Explorer satellite, affectionately called the Ferrari of Space, measured gravitational fields in the Earth's crust and mantle. It's significantly more powerful and sophisticated than most ground-penetrating radar usually available to the scientists attempting to study the continent, which is why it was able to reveal a huge secret. The eastern region of Antarctica is a continental graveyard. New 3D maps reveal remnants of the destruction of an ancient supercontinent. Below the ice is a jigsaw puzzle of cratons, the stable, rocky cores of continents that have managed to survive the history of tectonic destruction. Scientists are still debating on how and when the continent really came together, but they do know that one craton resembles Australia's bedrock, while another resembles India's. This discovery has proved valuable insights into the history of our planet, and perhaps also its future. But there are other elements of our future that could also rely on insights from the world's most mysterious continent. The ice sheet concealing Antarctica's geological secrets is roughly 1.3 miles thick and covers 98% of the continent. However, it's well known that the rising temperatures due to global warming has caused the ice to begin melting at a rapid pace. It is now losing about 3.5 Olympic swimming pools of ice per second. But Antarctica's fascinating underground landscape holds more insights into the climate crisis than we previously thought. Researchers are discovering that the landscape below the ice is influencing how fast the ice melts. We would presume that the ice melts at an even rate on the surface, but this isn't the case. The western region, where the discoveries about our ancient continental drift were made, is the region most vulnerable to melting. This is because, during the last ice age, the ice sheet was so heavy that it pushed the bedrock below sea level. The rate of melting in this region has tripled since 1996, while the melting in the eastern region has, interestingly, stagnated. The eastern region's geology features flat plains, but also plenty of mountain ranges, including the Gombrtsev mountain range, which is about the same size as the European Alps. The mountains are completely covered by 2,000 feet of ice, but it's these mountains that scientists believe are the reason the melting of the ice sheets has stabilized in the region. And it isn't just the melting ice which has far-reaching consequences for the planet. More and more vast lakes of liquid water are being discovered below the ice. Recently, NASA has discovered 2 new lakes buried underneath 1.2 to 2.5 miles of ice. These lakes and others surrounding them are behaving in a surprising way. They're draining and filling up over and over again in patterns that are still a mystery to scientists, with each lake operating to its own schedule. Scientists believe this may influence the way the ice melts in the region, but they also believe the draining of the lakes affects the currents in the Southern Ocean and, potentially, ocean currents across the entire planet. These subglacial lakes hold other secrets too. There are more than 400 of them, sheltered from sunlight by the ice. Some of them are found near the edge of the ice sheet, which allows water to occasionally flow in and out, but many of them have been cut off from the outside world for millions of years. But the ice is also the reason the lakes exist at all. They're formed when the weight of the surface ice bears down on the base of the sheet, creating pressure which is intense enough to lower the melting point of the water. This means the temperature of some of these liquid lakes is actually below freezing. In other words, the ice sheets insulate melted water from the cold air, while geothermal heat from below warms the water. That these liquid lakes, miraculously, contain life. They began investigating when research suggests that there may be microbes in the nutrient-rich sediment at the bottom of some lakes. However, they made a discovery which suggests that entire bodies of water under the ice may actually be habitable. Despite not having access to the outside world, the water in these lakes is not stagnant. The geothermal heat from below creates circulating currents in the lakes, which creates the possibility that they contain life. And microbial life has been found in lakes, which allow water in from the surrounding oceans. But more than that, a new discovery suggests that these environments, which are some of the harshest on the planet, may actually be the home to more diverse life than what was previously believed. Despite all odds, when scientists dropped a camera down a hole in a 0.6-mile thick sheet of ice into the lake below, they captured something incredible: living animals. The footage shows a boulder inhabited by 16 sponges and 22 unidentified animals, some of which might be barnacles. It's the first time that immobile life has been found below the ice sheet, but scientists are baffled by their existence. With the nearest source of sunlight more than 372 miles away, water temperatures below freezing, and the nearest open water over 161 miles from the boulder, these animals are challenging scientists' understanding of how organisms like these survive without sunlight. It's also not yet known whether this footage shows life which is entirely new to science, or what secrets the animals hold, with some known species of sponges proven to live more than 10,000 years. The Antarctic ice could still hold more secrets we have yet to discover. Our technology is only just allowing us to peek below the frozen surface. Lakes cut off from the world for millions of years have not yet been explored, and the geology hidden below most of the continent is still a mystery. However, the few discoveries we have made have challenged scientists and provided very valuable insights. We may still discover how the ice will, or won't, survive global warming. We may yet discover that all of the world's oceans depend on the mysteriously draining Antarctic lakes, and microbial life in these subglacial lakes may even serve as a model to prove the potential existence of similar life forms on frozen planets and moons. There may even be mysteries hiding which science doesn't even know it should be investigating yet, but we do know that the discoveries we are making are becoming more and more exciting with each new insight, and nobody knows what we'll find next.